Are the Lakers in trouble of missing the playoffs this year? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Emmanuel Camia. This is League Talk. On here, I talk about basketball, particularly the NBA. If you're into me giving takes, giving my opinions, and breaking things down analytically, this is the channel for you. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, and let's jump into this video. Another day, another video about how horrible the Lakers are. Now, the Lakers are just coming off of a loss to the Washington Wizards. Nothing new here, you know. The Lakers have been taking a lot of L's this year, which, first of all, let's pause right there. I want you to imagine for a second being Caldwell Pope and Kyle Kuzma, how excited, how joyful they would be to beat the Lakers, even though Kyle Kuzma didn't play. Remember all the slander that Kyle Kuzma got as a Laker before he was traded? And remember how reliable Caldwell Pope was to the Lakers? Yet they were tossed aside like trash for Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, who can't even help them win a game against the Wizards. Isn't that crazy, right? I imagine that it must drive Jeannie Buss up the wall, and it makes Rob Pelinka look so bad, right? To have his former players embarrass the Lakers. Caldwell Pope torched the Lakers for 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. That is a reliability. If Caldwell Pope was on the Lakers, that is something they could use. That is so reliable because there isn't a guy on the Lakers besides LeBron and AD that can actually give you consistent numbers like that without the turnovers. So that takes away Russell Westbrook. So I just, wanted to get that across. But let's move on to the topic of this video. The Lakers are bad. But how bad are the Lakers? Are they bad enough to the point where they're going to miss the playoffs this season? Currently, the Lakers are 30-41 and are 9th in the Western Conference, 11 games under 500, and are fighting to stay within the play-in tournament contention. But they have teams like New Orleans, another team that's filled with ex-Lakers, like the Washington Wizards, that is gradually gaining ground on them, right? Over the last month or so, the Lakers have just been able to give the New Orleans Pelicans some life, some chances of catching up to them and taking their spot in the play-in tournament, right? San Antonio is also catching up, climbing up, and posing as a real threat to taking the Lakers' play-in tournament spot. First of all, let's just take a moment to acknowledge where we are. How did the Lakers get themselves in this predicament? This is so mind-boggling because never would I have ever thought, if you gave me $100 or $1,000 at the beginning of the season, that the Lakers would find themselves in this predicament in which they were fighting to stay in the play-in tournament, let alone when they made that trade for Russell Westbrook all the way last summer. That's where it all went wrong. Like, we didn't expect it to work. We didn't expect them to be great, because we knew Russell Westbrook can play with LeBron and Anthony Davis. But at the same time, as much as we weren't expecting them to be the #1 seed in the West, that extreme, we too were not expecting them to be 9th in the West. Were it not for this play-in tournament, the Lakers would miss the playoffs. If the old format of the playoff, in which the first 8 teams in each conference went to the playoffs, was still here, the Lakers would miss the playoffs. And it's so ironic because this is the same format that in 2020, LeBron said that whoever came up with this format needs to be fired. And it's now his saving grace to getting into the playoffs. Isn't that just ironic? It boggles my mind that the Lakers are here. It boggles my mind that not only the Lakers are here, right? The Clippers are here too. Both LA teams who were once at the top of the NBA basketball world, literally 2 years ago. If you wanted great basketball, you went to LA. The Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, the Lakers with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Both teams are almost dead last in the Western Conference. It's incredible to me. This is why I love this league. It's so unpredictable. Except for LeBron going into the finals 8 years in a row. Aside from that, it's so unpredictable, right? That the Lakers would find themselves in this predicament. In my opinion, I think that the Lakers are at a great risk of missing the playoffs completely this year. I mean, they already have, if you're counting the old format, the Lakers would be done, right? The only saving grace that they have is the play-in tournament. So let's talk about the play-in tournament and how that's going to play out. But first, the Lakers have lost 8 of the last 11 games that they've played. And of the 3 games that they won against the Wizards, the Warriors, and the Raptors, LeBron had to drop 50 plus points in order for them to win. This is obviously not sustainable. This is not sustainable for any franchise, for any player, and it's not sustainable especially for LeBron, who is 37. That goes to show you just how bad this roster is. Like, we knew it was bad before, but this drives it home. If you had any hope that there was just a switch somewhere that they can turn on and, you know, the Lakers would get back into shape and make a run, that they just needed to, if you thought that they just needed that All-Star weekend break and they were gonna turn it on and everything was gonna be fine until the playoffs, you are wrong. It doesn't get better. And why doesn't it get better? Because most people are thinking, oh, well, at least they still have Anthony Davis in the back of their pocket. At least he's still a card they can play. Anthony Davis, to me, shouldn't even be a factor. Because to me, Anthony Davis is probably going to come back and play 3 minutes and get injured. I mean, his history, so much as so, tells me that's what's going to happen. In order to predict the future, you have to look at the past. And Anthony Davis's past is telling me that he's unreliable. And this is telling me that this is as good as it gets with the Lakers. I don't see the Lakers having a healthy Anthony Davis for the playoffs. I don't even think they make the playoffs. You know, I said it. I don't think they make the playoffs. The play-in tournament, they make that. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that the Lakers beat the odds and they manage to defend their spot to play in a play-in tournament. I don't even think they make it out of the play-in tournament. Forget making out of the play-in tournament. I don't even think they win their first game, let alone the second game to get out. Why? Because if the Lakers make the play-in tournament, as it is right now, the Lakers would have to play the Los Angeles Clippers, their little brother, in a basement in what used to be Staples Center. Their contemporaries, their rivals. And I don't think the Lakers can beat the Clippers. The Lakers have lost every single game that they've played to the Clippers all year. 2 of those in which Paul George and Kawhi Leonard didn't play. It was just Clippers giving the Lakers a good old-fashioned beatdown. And I don't think that the Clippers would struggle to beat the Lakers for a 4th time this year in a play-in tournament. I don't think that at all. Like, Lakers are a terrible team, and I say that because you can contrast the Lakers to the Clippers. Clippers don't even have their stars, and they're still floating. They're still out here making the playoffs. Even if you didn't have the play-in tournament, Clippers would make the playoffs. They're 8th right now in the West. But if that didn't drive it home for you, I want you to think about this. Even if somehow, some way, the Lakers were able to overcome Russell Westbrook's turnovers and his bricklaying capabilities and somehow beat the Clippers, which I don't think they're going to do, they would next have to play the Timberwolves. I think most likely the Timberwolves would be the next team that they play in the play-in tournament. The Timberwolves have won 3 out of the 4 times that they've played the Lakers. And the last time that they played, last week, it was not pretty. It was so bad. It was so embarrassing. Russell Westbrook was shooting air balls. Karl Anthony Towns was bamboozled, surprised at the shell of a man that Russell Westbrook had become. He was surprised to see Russell just shoot an air ball. Pat Bev was calling Russell Westbrook trash in front of the Lakers bench, and there was nothing they could do about it. It was such an ugly sight for the Lakers. I've never seen LeBron on such a bad team, right? And if you don't count the play-in tournament this year, that format, this would be the 2nd time that LeBron has missed the playoffs with the Los Angeles Lakers. The first time was in 2018 when he first got to Los Angeles, and there was that young core of Lonzo Ball and Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram around him. Second time is this year, and it's going to be him with a bunch of old guys. On both ends of him missing the playoffs, it was due to roster being too young the first time around, then the second time he misses the playoffs, roster's too old. Isn't that just poetic? But guys, those are just my thoughts on the Lakers, and I highly recommend that you guys subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen to the Lakers? Let me know. And aside from that, until next time, kids.